take a look at solving systems of equations by substitution. So open the tab that says substitution, stick it on the right hand side. And then the first step says we're going to copy the equations side by side. So that's what we're going to do. Listening check. Write down example 1 next to the questions and color it in. It says pick one equation and solve for either variable. So either solving for x or y. So look at it. Which one's easier? Well, I can solve for the left for y, or I can solve on the right for x. So let me do the left. I'm going to move the 2x to the other side. It's going to become negative 2x. So I'm going to have y equals negative 2x minus 1. So I've solved for y. Now it says substitute that answer where you see the variable into the other side, into the other original. So that variable is y, and I'm going to put the rest of it in there. So I'm going to put the y in there. So that's going to be negative 2, and then in the place of y, I'm going to put negative 2x minus 1. Then I'm going to say plus x, bring everything else down, equals negative 13. So now that I've done that, solve for the unknown variable and put a box around your answer. So what am I looking for? What x is. So get in the house, so negative 2 times negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 1, and then bring everything else down. Move the positive 2 to the other side, it's negative 2. Combine like terms, that's going to be negative 3x. Combine like terms, that's going to be negative 15. And then divide by negative 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, so that's going to give me positive 5. So x is 5. This is a listening check. Color in x equals 5. Pick the easiest looking original equation. So look at both of them. Which one is the easiest one? I'm going to put the one on the left because it has less negatives. So I'm going to plug that in to the one on the left. So first thing I do is write it down. Then plug in where I see x, I'm going to put 5. So 2, and then I see an x, so put 5 plus y equals negative 1. Now I'm solving for y. Put a box around it. So 2 times 5 is 10. Take the 10 to the other side, negative 10. So I'm going to have negative t meets negative teams, there are going to be more negatives. Alright, write down the solutions that you have in your boxes as x and then y. So 5 and then negative 11. And that's really all there is to it. Let's take a look at another example. So first step is copy them side by side. Pick one equation. So which one looks easier? Well, this one's already solved for y. So I'm going to pick that one and put it into the other one because it's already solved into y. Substitute that answer where you see that variable into the other original equation. So I'm going to go wherever I see y, I'm putting 4 over 3x minus 7. Which is right there. So 4x minus 3, and then I see a y. Instead of y, I'm going to put 4 over 3x minus 7. Equals 15. And now we're solving it. So we'll draw a river. So we're going to get in the house, so we're 4x, and then negative 3 times 4 over 3. I'm just going to do this on the side. And anytime you have a fraction, just extend the fraction bar. And you multiply the top and you multiply the bottom. Negative 12 over 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. Bring down to 15. So I have 4x, and then minus 12 divided by 3 is 4x, plus 21, bring down to 15 again. And I could have just canceled the 3's because if I have it on top and bottom, I can cancel it. Take the 21 to the other side, becomes negative 21. So I have 4x minus 4x is 0x, and that 15 minus 21 is negative 6. So I cannot have nothing is equal to something. There's never a time where nothing is equal to something. So that is a no solution. So no solution is the answer. I'm going to split the page into 4, and then you're going to copy those down. Pick the easiest looking one. Which one looks easy? So I'm going to pick the one on the right because all I have to do is move the 2y to the other side because I don't want to do fractions. So move the 2y to the other side, becomes negative 2y. So x equals negative 2y plus 8. Alright, then you're going to plug that into the other one. So anytime you're solving for either x or y. In this case, I solve for x. Substitute that into the other one. So where I see an x, I'm going to put that in there. So it's going to be 2y equals, listening check, color in example 3. Negative, and then I see an x. So instead of x, I'm going to put negative 2y plus 8. Bring everything else down plus the 8. Solve for the known variable, so put a river. I'm going to get in the house, so it's going to be negative, and a negative is a positive, a negative and a positive is a negative. Bring everything else down. Move that 2y to the other side, it's going to become negative 2y. So I'm going to have 0y is equal to 0. Well, nothing is equal to nothing is okay. And that's different from nothing is equal to something. So nothing is equal to nothing means infinitely many solutions. And what that means is you pick anything for y, so pick 10. 0 times 10 is 0, which is still 0. So it's infinitely many solutions. You need to know the difference. And so again, copy them side by side. Pick one equation. Let's see which one looks easier. Let me move the negative 7y to the other side, since I did the second one the first time. So I'm going to have x is equal, and then comes positive 7, so positive 7y minus 2. Take that answer, once you solve for either x or y, take that answer and plug it into the other equation where you see that variable. So I'm going to do 3, and then I see x. So 3, and then I'm going to put 7y minus 2, and then copy everything else down. This is a listening check. Color in number 4 on the printout. And solving for that, I'm going to get in the house. So it's going to be 3 times 7 is 21y. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Bring everything else down. Take the negative 6 to the other side, it becomes positive 6. So 21 minus 1 is going to be 20y. And then 14 plus 6 is 20. Divide both sides by 20. I'm going to get y is equal to 1. Once I have that, pick the easiest looking one. Which one looks easy? The one on the right, because it's less negatives. Again, just stick with the one that's less negatives. Copy it down. Where you see y, you're going to put in 1. So 3x, and then I see a y, so minus 1 equals 14. Take the 1 to the other side, is plus 1, so 3x equals 15. Divide by 3, x is equal to 5. Then your final step is just writing it down to x and then y. So 5, 1 is your solution. And that's pretty much it. So let's practice.